welcome children. Let's continue the answer to the question what factors, physiographic factors and economic factors responsible for the construction of railways. Okay, railway network. I'll start off by telling about, the northern plains. Now, you know that northern plains, it is a very vast area. It is densely populated. So it provides a favorable conditions for, setting in the railway tracks. Then in the hilly terrain, we're talking about the hills. Here we find that the laying the tracks, it takes place through low hills, and not only that, it may also they might the central government also goes about constructing the railways through gaps or even through the tunnels. So that is about the hills, about the northern plains, about the hills. Then what about the Himalayan region? When we are talking about the Himalayan region, it is very high relief is there. So in the Himalayan region, you very well know that the population is very sparse. Since the population is very sparse, not only that, another disadvantage is that economic opportunities are very less. So we find that setting a railway track in this area happens to be a little bit difficult. So this factor also influences the distribution of railway patterns. Okay, then moving to the desert region, western part of Rajasthan also, it's difficult to lay in railway tracks, even in the swamps of Gujarat. Then even laying the tracks in the forested tracks of Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand. The government has to give a second thought when they go about constructing railway tracks in the forested areas, in the hilly areas and all. Then the stretch of Shayadri also it can be crossed only through the gaps and passes. All right. Then another important factor which influences is the development of the Konkan railways is also, has provided favorable conditions for the distribution of the railway patterns in Indian railways. So these are the various. So when we are talking about physiographic divisions means we are talking about the rank form, the relief features. Economic factors means we are talking about the money value. Obviously, earlier we discussed, no, that a lot of investment is required when we want to construct a railway track. Even if we want to upkeep it, or we want to maintain it, a lot of investment is required. That's why it's an initiative of the central government. Okay, now let's take the lesson forward by talking about the waterways. This is the oldest, it is the cheapest, and not only that, it carries a heavy and bulky, as well as there is no air pollution when we are talking about the waterways. We were taking to seafaring, the goods as well as the passengers. So this waterways is being divided into three, and three national waterways has been declared by the government. We have the Ganga River between Allahabad and the Haldia. It stands at number one, first national waterways, and the second national waterways is about River Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dubri. And in the third position, we have talking about Kerala, that is the West Coast Canal of Kerala. So these are the important three national waterways. Okay, so I hope you understood about the railways and little bit about the waterways. Rest next class. Thank you.